Hello everyone, welcome to the IAS Mentorship Program. Let us see what are the answers for Geography Full Length Test. What is the first question? With reference to the interior of the earth, consider the following statements. Interiors of the earth, crust, mantle and core. Inner core, outer core, mantle and crust. This is the interior of the earth. The crust is the thickest layer of the earth. No, it is not the thickest. In comparison with the 3 layers, it is the thinnest. The mantle is composed mainly of silicate minerals rich in magnesium and iron. Correct. When earth formation was taking place, heavy metals or heavy material went inside, lighter materials came up. That's why if you take a core is made up of nickel and iron, heavy metals. The mantle is composed of mainly of silicate minerals rich in magnesium and iron. Correct one. Outer core is in liquid state. Correct one. Inner core is in solid state, outer core is in liquid state. Answer here is 213. This is the answer. Second question. Second one. Which one of the following best explains the occurrence of earthquakes and volcanoes mainly along plate boundaries? Entire lithosphere divided into so many plates, and the movement of these plates causing various earthquakes and volcanoes. When oceanic plate and continental plate meet, some are continental plates, some are oceanic plates. Why earthquakes and volcanoes mainly along plate boundaries? Here, these are the plate boundaries where the zone is very weak. Wherever they are weak, and when they collide, it causes earthquake. Plate boundaries are always located under oceans, need not to be. Plate boundaries are regions of low atmospheric pressure, need not to be. Plate boundaries receive maximum solar radiation, no. Plate boundaries are zones of crustal weakness and tectonic interaction. This is the answer. Next question. Consider the following statements regarding convergent plate boundaries. If you see the plate boundaries, whole world divided into different plates. Identify this. Various plates. African plate, Indian plate, Eurasian plate, North American plate, Pacific plate. These are the plate boundaries. Now, consider the following statements regarding convergent plate boundaries. Convergent means where two plates merge together, meet together. Answer here is oceanic convergence. Oceanic convergence may form island arcs. When two oceanic plates converge, so naturally some kind of volcanic eruption or islands can be formed. Oceanic continental convergence may form volcanic mountain chain. That is also true. Oceanic continental convergence may form volcanic mountain chain. One of the best examples here is near Japan, Indonesia. In these islands, so many volcanic activities, earthquakes used to come. That is the interaction of oceanic and as well as continental. Oceanic and oceanic continental. Continental convergence generally leads to trench formation. No, it is not the trench. Trench means in oceans it forms. Suppose if you take Eurasian plate and Indian plate, when they collide, this is example of continental convergence. Mountains form, not the trenches. What is the answer here? 1 and 2. This is not correct. 1 and 2 is the answer. Next question, fourth one. Mid-oceanic ridges are formed due to. Mid-oceanic ridges are formed due to convergent movement of the plates, transform movement of the plates, divergent movement of the plates, vertical sinking of continental blocks. If you see mid-oceanic ridge, one of the best examples of ridge here, mid-Atlantic ridge, this is formed when the plates are moving divergent. That is the reason. So here answer is divergent movement of plates. Next question. Fifth one. Which one of the following is the correct sequence in the weathering of rocks, breaking down the rocks? What is the step? Erosion, weathering, mass wasting. Weathering, erosion, deposition. Here, weathering occurs first. Breaking down of the material, then whatever broken down, eroded, moving away from the source region, and finally depositing in the other place. So this is the answer. Weathering first, erosion next, deposition. Next one, sixth one. Consider the following statements. Mechanical weathering is more intense. Mechanical weathering is more intense in regions with a large diurnal range of temperatures. Diurnal range of temperatures means in a single day, very low temperature and very high temperatures. For example, if you take desert areas, morning by afternoon intense heat and by midnight very cold, because whatever solar radiation absorbed, it is going to be re-radiated back. And there mechanical weathering is going to be more. Chemical weathering is more effective in hot and humid climates. Hot temperatures are high and humid means rainfall also. Here chemical weathering, wherever limestone regions are there, in this kind of situation weathering is going to be more. Frost action is common in equatorial lowlands. Frost means related to colder areas, ice, and it is naturally not in equatorial lowlands but in polar regions. That's why third one is not correct. 1 and 2 are correct. This is the answer. Next question. Fold mountains are primarily formed by. Fold mountains, Himalayas are examples of fold mountains. Himalayas are youngest, one of the youngest fold mountains. Wind erosion, river deposition, compressional forces in the earth's crust, volcanic lava accumulation only. What is the answer? This is compressional forces in the earth crust. When two plates merge, fold mountains are going to be formed. Next question. Block mountains are associated with folding, faulting, glaciation, coral growth. This is faulting. Block mountains are the result of faulting, not the folding. Next one. Which of the following pairs is or correctly matched? This is a map based question. Ants mountains. Ants are in South America. Fold mountains. Oaks, block mountains. That is correct. Here in Europe. Deccan Plateau mountains, Young Fold mountain. Deccan Plateau, Young Fold mountains. No, Deccan Plateau is the result of volcanic eruption long ago. 3 is not correct one. 1 and 2. Answer here is A. 10th one. Consider the following statements regarding volcanoes related to volcanic activity. Shield volcanoes are generally formed by highly viscous lava. No, they are not highly viscous lava. They are formed by basaltic lava which can be flown easily. Shield volcanoes, the movement, because of the movement spread, larger areas are going to be spread with lava, and further it should be low viscous, not high viscous. Highly viscous means movement is slow, but low viscous means movement will be faster and it is going to spread longer areas. That is shield volcano. So here not highly viscous. Composite volcanoes are made up of alternating layers of lava and ash. Correct one. Volcanic activity is completely absent in divergent plate boundaries. No. Wherever divergent plate boundaries are there, volcanic activity, mid-oceanic ridges are examples of volcanic activity where new land is going to be formed because of volcanic activity. This is also not correct. 2 is correct one. This is the answer. Next question. In the youthful stage of a river, which one of the following is most likely dominate? In the youthful means where in the beginning stages of river course, here erosion activities are going to be more. Meanders and oxbow lake, delta formation, vertical erosion, wind, wide flood plains. Vertical erosion takes more. And this way where waterfalls also going to be created. In the youthful stage of river, vertical erosion takes place. Next one. 12th question. Consider the following statements regarding river landforms. Meanders are generally associated with the mature stage of a river. Meanders are generally associated with the mature stage of a river. That is true. Oxbow lakes are formed due to river capture. It is not due to river capture. It is not going to add river. It is going to cut off. When river cut offs from area, then it is going to create oxbow lakes. Natural levees are built by river deposition during the floods. This is correct one. 1 and 3. Oxbow lakes are going to be formed. Suppose when river is there and when river takes this shape, when it bends and after some time when it breaks off, then it creates oxbow lake. It's not river capture, it is cut off. 2 is not correct, 1 and 3. Next one. Thirteenth question. Which one of the following landforms is formed by groundwater action in limestone regions? Moraine, airdong, sinkholes, sand dunes. Sinkholes are the landforms created by groundwater action. Stalactites and stalagmites are features associated with desert erosion, volcanic region, glacial deposition, karst topography. This is karst topography. In limestone regions, this kind of landforms features are identified. Next one, 15th one. Consider the following statements regarding glaciers. Regarding glaciers. Glaciers erode the landscape mainly through plucking and abrasion. That is true. These are the features of glacier. U-shaped valleys are associated with glacial erosion. True. U-shaped valleys. It's like cutting river, like river cuts. Similarly, glacial erosion cuts the valleys. Eskers are erosional landforms. These are depositional, not erosional. Eskers are depositional landforms, not. And these are the material left by the glaciers near the bed. Eskers. So 1 and 2 is correct one. Which are correct? 1 and 2. Next one. Which one of the following is a depositional feature of glaciers? Cirques, arete, moraines, hanging valley. Here moraines are the depositional features of it. This the answer is C. Next question. Mushroom rocks and airdongs are associated with these are the features associated with wind erosion. It's not glacier, not wave, not river, wind erosion. So 17th is C. Next, loess. Loess deposits are coarse pebbles deposited by rivers, fine wind-blown sediments, coral deposits in tropical seas, glacial meltwater deposits only. Here, this is fine wind-blown sediments. In China, there is a river called Yellow River, and that river name Yellow comes because of the fine wind-blown sediments. That is the result of the fine wind-blown sediments. Loess deposits are happening in that river. So that is the example. Next, 19th one. Consider the following statements regarding ocean currents. Warm currents generally raise the temperatures of adjacent coastal areas. That is true. Wherever equatorial warm currents move, in those areas, temperatures of the region increases. Cold currents generally reduce evaporation and may contribute to arid coastal climates. That is true. Wherever the deserts are there, like Sahara Desert or in Australian desert, in those areas, cold currents are one of the reasons. There, temperatures come down, high pressure creates and reduce the evaporation. As a result, rainfall reduces. Ocean currents are influenced by prevailing winds. That is true. Trade winds, westerlies, they influence the current movements. All are correct. All 1, 2, 3 are correct. Next, 20th. Cold Peru current is one of the reasons for the existence of cold Peru current in the South American area, equatorial rainforests, Mediterranean climate of Chile, Atacama Desert, temperate grasslands of Argentina. This is the desert area. Cold current, Atacama Desert is the resultant of Peru cold current. Which one of the following are responsible for tides? Gravitational pull of the moon, gravitational pull of the sun, rotation of the earth alone. It is not earth alone rotation. This is also one of the reasons, but gravitational pull of the moon and sun. 1 and 2. Answer here is B. 21. B. Next one. Spring tides occur when sun, moon are at right angles to each other. The gravitational pull of the moon disappears. Sun, moon and earth are in one line. Winds blow strongly over the oceans. The answer here is if they are in line. Sun, moon, earth are in one line. Spring tides occur. This is the answer. Next question. Which one of the following best distinguishes weather from the climate? And when it comes to weather and climate, climate is long term, weather is short term pattern. Weather refers to long term averages, no. Climate refers to day to day, no. Weather is short term atmospheric condition, while climate is long term average pattern. That is true. Weather and climate. Climate is a long term concept, weather is a short term concept. Next, 24th. Consider the following statements about the atmosphere. Most weather phenomena occurs in the troposphere. That is true. Lowest layer, troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, and so on. So this is the atmospheric atmosphere layers: troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, exosphere. And this is the place where most of the atmospheric phenomena takes place. Most weather phenomena occur in the troposphere. Correct one. That stratosphere contains the ozone layer. Correct one. Second layer contains ozone. Temperature continuously decreases with height in the stratosphere. That is not the correct one. And when it comes to this, in stratosphere, temperature increases. In troposphere, it decreases, whereas in stratosphere, it will increase. 1 and 2. Answer here is 24A. Next, 25th. Trade winds blow from polar highs towards subpolar low, from subtropical high pressure belt towards the equatorial low pressure belt. So here the answer is this only. This is the pressure belts. Pressure belts and winds. You can see anywhere. Equatorial low pressure, tropical easterlies, these are also called trade winds. Subtropical high pressure to equatorial low pressure. From subtropical high pressure belts towards the equatorial low pressure belt. This is the answer. 25th B. Next, 26th. Which one of the following statements regarding cyclones is correct? Tropical cyclones derive their energy mainly from horizontal temperature contrasts. Temperate cyclones derive their energy mainly from latent heat over warm oceans only. Tropical cyclones develop over warm ocean waters. This is the correct one. Tropical cyclones in Bay of Bengal, in Pacific Ocean, in Atlantic. These are the tropical cyclones develop over warm ocean waters. This is the answer. Next, 27. Consider the following statements regarding Mediterranean climate. It is characterized by dry summers and wet winters. This is the reason. Now, when it comes to this is the Mediterranean region. During summer period, the pressure belts will move. During summer season, when pressure belts move, dry winds flow in that area. During winter season, when pressure belts move downward, during that time period, westerlies flow with moisture. It is characterized by dry summers and wet winters. That is the characteristic of Mediterranean character. Next one. This climate is generally found on the western margins of the continents between about 30 degrees to 45 degrees latitude. That is the region. Next, natural vegetation of this climate is mainly equatorial evergreen forest. No, it is not equatorial because equatorial evergreen comes near equator, not in Mediterranean. 1 and 2. So 27 here answer is A, 1 and 2 is the answer. 28th. Which one of the following pairs is correctly matched? Tundra climate, dense equatorial forest. Tundra means ice area. Here, dense equatorial forest in equatorial region. Savanna climate, tall grasses with scattered trees. This is correct one. Desert climate, permanent ice sheets, not possible. Mediterranean climate, coniferous taiga forest, no. That is taiga region, not Mediterranean. Here answer is savanna climate, tall grasses with scattered trees. 28th B is the answer. Next, 29. The rain shadow effect is best explained by which one of the following? Rain shadow region. Here for explanation, in India, we have Western Ghats, this is rain bearing side, and this is the rain shadow region. Moisture, because of the mountains, moisture drops this side and only dry winds will blow towards that side. Rainfall increases on the leeward side of the mountains. No, this is windward and this is leeward. And that's why this area, Vidarbha region, Telangana plateau, dry in region. Karnataka, dry in region. Rainfall increases on the leeward side of the mountains. It is not correct. Moist air ascends the windward slope, loses moisture and descends dry on the leeward side. So, this is the answer. This is the answer. Mountains attract clouds due to magnetic force. It is not correct. Rain shadow occurs only in polar areas. No, not the correct one. B is the answer. 30. Consider the following statements regarding coral reefs. Coral reefs. First one. Fringing reefs grow at some distance away from the coast with a lagoon in between. No, they attach to the coastal area, not away from it. Coral reefs generally develop in warm, shallow and clear marine waters. So, those are the conditions. It requires warm water, shallow, depth should not be there, clear. Pollution also should not be there. Clear water is required. Answer here is 3. 2 only. B is the answer. 2 only. 31. 31. Consider the following statements regarding old climatic regions. Equatorial climate is marked by high temperature and heavy rainfall throughout the year. Correct one. Because of continuous availability of sunlight, continuous moisture, by evening rainfall used to occur in equatorial climate. Taiga vegetation is mainly associated with subarctic climate. That is the region coniferous forests are there. Steppe climate is characterized by dense evergreen forest. No, that is grassland, not the forest area. 1 and 2 is the answer. B is the answer. 31 B. Next, 32. Consider the following statements regarding the Himalayan mountains. The Himalayas are young fold mountains. Correct one. They are young. Still they are rising. The Himalayas were formed mainly due to the collision between the Indian plate and the Eurasian plate. This is the reason. The Himalayas are tectonically inactive. No, they are very active. Even today also earthquakes used to occur. 3 is not correct. 1 and 2. Answer here is A. Next. Which one of the following Himalayan ranges is situated between the Greater Himalaya and the Shivalik? This is Lesser Himalayas. Greater Himalayas, Lesser Himalayas, Shivaliks. This is the classification of Himalayas if we come from north to or south. Lesser Himalayas. 33. A is the answer. 33. B is the answer. Lesser Himalaya. 34. Consider the following statements regarding Shivalik range. It is the near in Shivalik range. It is the outermost range of Himalayas. True. Greater, lesser and Shivaliks. Outermost range. It is mainly composed of unconsolidated sediments. Correct one. It contains mainly longitudinal valleys called dunes. That is why in Uttarakhand, areas like Dehradun, those are the areas are there. This is correct one. All 3. D is the answer. 35. Which one of the following is correctly matched? Babar, Terai, Bangar, Kadar. This is related to plain area. Which one of the following is correctly matched? Marshy tract south of Terai. That is not Bangar. That is Terai region. Terai, pebble strewn belt along the foothills. That is Babar. Bangar, older alluvium. This is correct one. Kadar, upland alluvial terrace. This is not the correct one. Older alluvium is the correct one. Bangar. Kadar is the new alluvium and Bangar is old alluvium. Answer here is C. Bangar. 36. Next question. Consider the following statements regarding the northern plains of India. They have been formed by the depositional works of Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra river system. Correct one. Indus and its tributaries, Brahmaputra and its tributaries, and Ganga and its tributaries collectively formed it. They are mainly composed of alluvial soil. Correct one. Their east-west extension is greater than their north-south breadth. Correct one. From north to south belt is shorter than east-west extension. Correct one. All are correct. 1, 2 and 3. Next 37. 37 question is, the peninsular plateau of India is primarily composed of. This is the area, one of the oldest places on the earth itself. Since the early days of earth formation itself, this area is there. Young sedimentary rocks, it is not the case. Ancient crystalline igneous and metamorphic rocks, this is the correct answer. Recently folded mountains, no. Only volcanic ash deposit, no. This is the answer. 37. B. Ancient crystalline igneous and metamorphic rocks. This is the answer. 37. Next, 38. Consider the following statements regarding Deccan Plateau. What is the answer here? Deccan Plateau. It is bounded by the Western Ghats in the west. True. Most of its rivers flow into Arabian Sea. No, into Bay of Bengal. It slopes generally from west to east. That is why rivers flow like Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, they flow from the west side to the east side, from Western Ghats to Bay of Bengal. Slope generally from west to east. Answer here is 1 and 3. 1 and 3. 38. C is the answer. Next, 39. Which one of the following is the highest peak in India? Nanda Devi, Kanchenjunga, Comet, Anaimodi. Here answer is Kanchenjunga. It is the highest peak in India. This is the answer. In the given options, Kanchenjunga is the tallest one. 40. Consider the following statements regarding Western Ghats. When it comes to Western Ghats, they form a continuous mountain chain. Correct one. They are higher than Eastern Ghats. This is also true. That's why slope from west to east. They give rise to many important peninsular rivers. That is also true. Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri. All are correct. Answer here is D. All are correct one. Next one. Which one of the following passes provides a link between Kerala and Tamil Nadu across the Western Ghats? Kerala and Tamil Nadu. This is Palghat Gap. Nathula, Zojila, Bomdila, they are in Himalayas. Palghat. Here it connects Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Next one. 42. Eastern Ghats. Consider the following statements regarding Eastern Ghats. They are discontinuous in nature. True. There are breaks in the Eastern Ghats, not like Western Ghats. They are dissected by major rivers such as the Godavari and Krishna. That's why there is a breakdown. Correct one. They are generally higher than Western Ghats. No, they are not higher. They are shorter than Western Ghats. 1 and 2. Answer here is 1 and 2. 43. The Thar Desert is located mainly in. The Thar Desert mainly located in Rajasthan region, Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan and adjoining Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, Bihar and Jharkhand. Rajasthan is the answer. Next one. 44. Consider the following statements regarding Indian desert regions. Luni is an important river of the Thar region. Correct one. Luni is an important river in that area. Crescent-shaped sand dunes are called Burchans. True. These are the sand landforms. Rainfall in the Thar desert is generally more than 100 centimeters annually. This is less than. This is not more, this is less than. So answer here is, which is correct? 1 and 2. A. Next one. Which one of the following is a landlocked saltwater lake in Rajasthan? That is Sambar Lake. Chilka is in Odisha, Pulicat is in Tamil Nadu Andhra border, and Vembanad is in Kerala. Sambar. Next, 46th one. Consider the following statements regarding Indian drainage system. The Himalayan rivers are generally perennial. Perennial means always they flow, whether summer, winter, throughout the year. When it comes to peninsular, they are not, they are seasonal. Himalayan rivers are generally perennial. The peninsular rivers are mainly seasonal in character. Correct one. The Himalayan rivers have shorter course than peninsular rivers. No, they have the longer course. Answer here is 1 and 2. A is the answer. 46, A. Next, 47. Which one of the following rivers forms an estuary? Estuary means it is almost river is mixing with ocean without creating any kind of delta. Here the answer here is Narmada, because Mahanadi delta, Godavari delta, Kaveri delta is there, but Narmada delta not there. That is estuary. 47, D. D is the answer. Next, 48. Consider the following statements regarding east flowing peninsular rivers. They generally form deltas near their mouths. Correct one. They flow into Bay of Bengal. Correct one. They have longer course compared to west flowing peninsular river. That is true, because when it comes to Western Ghats and Arabian Sea, very short distance, whereas Bay of Bengal, these rivers, east flowing rivers, have longer course. All are correct one. Next, 49. Which one of the following is the largest river basin in India? This is Ganga. Ganga is the largest. Next, 50th. Consider the following statements regarding the Brahmaputra river. It enters India through Arunachal Pradesh. Correct one. It is known as Songpo in Tibet. That is the name, local name of this. It forms a major delta alone before entering Bay of Bengal. No, it joins with Ganga also. 3 is not correct. 1 and 2 are correct. A is the answer. Next one. Which one of the following is correctly matched? Kosi, west flowing river? No. Chambal, tributary of Ganga? It is tributary of Yamuna. Yamuna, tributary of Ganga? This is correct one. And Tapi, tributary of Godavari? It is not correct one. So C, Yamuna, tributary of Ganga. That is correct. Next one. Let us see now onwards. Next question. Consider the following statement regarding Indian monsoon. The Himalayas have no role in the mechanism of monsoon rainfall. The Himalayas have no role in the mechanism of monsoon rainfall. Very important, they play a very important role. The shift of intertropical convergence zone influences the monsoon. Correct one. During summer and winter, intertropical convergence move upward and downward. It influences the monsoon. Differential heating of land and sea is one of the causes of monsoon. Correct one. 2 and 3. 52, B is the answer. Next, 53. Which one of the following branches of the southwest monsoon gives rainfall to the western coast of India? This is the one. Monsoon comes. This. Now, when it comes to this, which one of the following branches of southwest monsoon gives rainfall to the western coast of India? Arabian Sea branch. This is the one. Western disturbance, Bay of Bengal branch, retreating monsoon branch, Arabian Sea branch. This is the answer. Next question. Next question. Consider the following statements regarding retreating monsoon in India. Retreating monsoon means this one. From northeast. It occurs mainly during October and November, during that time period, correct one. Tamil Nadu receives an important part of its rainfall during this season, correct one. The season is associated with generally clear skies over much of northern India, correct one. All are correct. 1, 2, 3. When it comes to Arabian Sea branch, in southwest monsoon, most of India gets rainfall, but during retreating time period, Tamil Nadu coastal area gets more rainfall. 54, all are correct. D. Next one, 55. Which one of the following places receives the highest average annual rainfall in India? This is Masinram. 55, B is the answer. Next, 56. Consider the following statements regarding Indian soils. Alluvial soils are widespread in northern plain. That is true. So many rivers, they deposit a lot of alluvial soil. Black soils are ideal for cotton cultivation. Correct one. In Maharashtra, Deccan Plateau, black soils are ideal for cotton cultivation. Laterite soils are rich in humus naturally. That is not correct one. Laterite soils are not rich. They are poor in humus. 1 and 2. This is the answer. 1 and 2. A is the answer. Next one. Black soil of India is also known as, this is Regur soil. This is the soil, and Bangar, Kadar, Terai, they are related to alluvium soil, Regur soil. Next, 58. Consider the following statements regarding natural vegetation of India. Tropical evergreen forests are found in areas of heavy rainfall. That is true. Like in the Western Ghats, west side of the Western Ghats, tropical evergreen forest. Thorn forests are found in arid and semi-arid region. Correct one. In Rajasthan, Gujarat region. Mangrove forests are usually found in high mountainous region. No, they are close to oceans. Sundarban mangroves. 3 is not correct one. 1 and 2 correct one. This is the answer. Next one. 59. Which one of the following is correctly matched? Sundarbans, mangrove forest. Gir, coniferous. Nilgiri, thorn forest. Western Rajasthan, tropical evergreen. No. Answer here is Sundarbans, mangrove forest. Next, 60th. Consider the following statements regarding coastal plains of India. Western coastal plains is narrower than eastern coastal plain. Correct one. It's very shorter coastal area. Konkan coast lies between Goa and Kerala. No, it is above that. Maharashtra, Goa. The eastern coastal plain is wider due to delta formation by major rivers. True. When it comes to west side, rivers do not form deltas because they do not have that much space. Length is very short. 1 and 3. 60th is C is the answer. Next question. Consider the following statements regarding islands of India. Andaman and Nicobar are mainly of coral origin. No, they are not coral. Corals are there, but they are not coral origin. Tectonic origin. The Lakshadweep islands are mainly coral islands. Correct one. Barren Island is an active volcano. That is true. In Andaman Nicobar, Barren Island is there. This is the only known active volcano in India. 2 and 3. 61. C is the answer. Next question. '62. Consider the following statements regarding population distribution in India. Population is unevenly distributed across India. That is true. It's not that every state is evenly distributed. Every region is evenly. In mountains it is different, plain it is different. Fertile plains and coastal areas generally support higher population density because they have sufficient food availability, and also historically those areas are settled areas. Mountainous and desert regions usually have very high population density. No, this is not correct one, and 1 and 2 is correct one. A is the answer. Next one. 63. Which one of the following is the most suitable explanation for high population density in the northern plains of India? Rugged relief, fertile alluvial soil and adequate water availability, extremely low agricultural productivity, absence of urban centers, fertile alluvial soil. That's why it is able to provide sufficient food for larger sections of the people. Next, 64. Hot deserts of the world are mainly located on the western margins of continents between 15 to 30 degrees latitude, primarily due to this is onshore trade winds, ascending air in equatorial, descending air in subtropical high pressure belt, and frequent cyclonic disturbances. Answer here is C is the descending air due to cold ocean current, low pressure, and also descending air in subtropical high pressure belt. This is also another reason. Pressure belt wise also descending air and also cold ocean currents also. Combinedly, hot deserts are located in this latitude. Next, 65. Consider the following statements regarding migration in India. Migration can be internal as well as international. That is true. Internal migration occurs only between two states. No, need not to be. Marriage and employment are important causes of migration. Correct one. Internal migration within states also, between states also, it can happen. So 65. Answer here is B, 1 and 3. This is the answer. Next, 66. Which one of the following is generally a major consequence of migration in India? Complete elimination of regional inequality. Major consequence. Redistribution of population and growth of urban centers. This is the correct one. Permanent decline of all rural economies. Reduction of all types of social diversity. It is not the correct one. 66. B is the answer. 67. With reference to savanna climate, savanna grassland area, consider the following statement. Rainfall is mainly concentrated in the winter season. No, it is summer season. The length of the rainy season increases away from the equator towards the desert margin. No, it decreases. It will not increase. In equatorial region, more rainfall, and as you proceed, less rainfall near desert areas. Which of the following statements are correct? Both are not correct. That is neither 1 nor 2. That is the answer. Next question. Which one of the following best reflects a higher level of human development? Higher level of human development, this is better education, longer life expectancy, and improved access to services. This is what really human development means. Next, 69. Consider the following statements regarding rural settlements in India. Rural settlements may be compact, semi-compact, or dispersed. All are true. Relief and water availability influence rural settlement pattern. That is true. In hilly areas, dispersed; in plain areas, very compact. Rural settlements are found only in plains, need not to be any place, it can be. 1 and 2. Answer here is A. Next, 70. Which one of the following correctly distinguishes an urban settlement from rural settlement in the Indian context? Urban settlements are always smaller in population than villages? No. Next sentence. Urban settlements are characterized by a larger share of non-primary activities. That is correct one. Non-primary, that means other than agriculture. Rural settlements are dominated by manufacturing and finance. No. Urban settlements have no administrative significance. It is not the case. B is the answer. Next one. 71. Consider the following statements regarding cropping seasons in India. Kharif crops are sown with the onset of monsoon. Correct one. Rabi crops are usually harvested in spring. Rabi crops, correct one. Zaid crops are grown during the short season between Rabi and Kharif. All are correct. 1, 2 and 3. Next, 72. Which one of the following crops is mainly associated with Rabi season in India? Rabi season, paddy, cotton, wheat, jute. Wheat is the one, Rabi season. Next question. 73. Consider the following statements regarding agricultural challenges in India. Fragmented land holdings are a challenge in many regions. Correct one. Dependence on monsoon affects agricultural stability. Correct one. Both are correct. Next, 74. 74. Consider the following statements regarding water resources in India. Water availability in India shows spatial and seasonal variation. Correct one. In certain areas more water, in certain areas less water. Seasonal also, sometimes more water availability, sometimes less water availability. Irrigation reduces dependence on monsoon rainfall. Reduces, true. Water conservation has no role where rivers are perennial. No, it is not the case. Water conservation plays very important role even in rivers are in areas of perennial. 74, 1 and 2. A is the answer. Next, 75. Which one of the following is the most appropriate objective of water conservation in India? This is to ensure sustainable use and reduce future scarcity. That is the answer. Next, 76. Consider the following statements regarding mineral resources in India. Ferrous minerals include iron ore and manganese. Correct one. Non-ferrous minerals include copper and bauxite. Correct one. Mineral resources are evenly distributed across all regions. No, they are not evenly distributed. 1 and 2. Next, 77. 77 answer here is coal. Consider the following statements regarding energy resource in India. Coal and petroleum are conventional energy sources. Conventional, correct one. Solar and wind are non-conventional energy sources. Non-conventional, they are not conventional. Most of non-conventional sources are renewable. Renewable means which can be replenished. solar and wind resources can be replenished. So most of the non-conventional, that means renewable energy sources, 1, 2 and 3. So here answer is D. Next one, 78. Consider the following statements regarding manufacturing industries in India. Iron and steel industry is a basic industry. True. For the economic development, it is one of the very basic. Textile industry is an agro-based industry in many cases. Agro-based, cotton is required. True. Textile industry. Which of the statements given above are incorrect? Here both are correct one. So here incorrect means neither one nor two. Answer here is D, neither one nor two. Next, 79. Which one of the following is the most suitable reason for the location of iron and steel plants near raw material sources? To isolate industries from labor supply, to avoid access to markets, to reduce availability of power, to minimize transport cost of bulky raw materials. This is correct one. This is the reason. D is the reason. Next, D, 80. Consider the following statements regarding planning and sustainable development. Regional planning aims at reducing regional imbalances. Correct one. Sustainable development seeks balance between development and environmental protection. Correct one. Environmental issues are irrelevant in development planning. No. Environment and development both are connected with each other. 1 and 2. Next. 81. Consider the following statements regarding selected geographical issues in India. Land degradation can result from deforestation, overgrazing and mining. True. Urban waste is a major challenge in rapidly growing cities. Both are correct one. 82. Consider the following statements regarding human geography. Human geography studies the relationship between human societies and the earth surfaces. Earth surface, correct one. How the relationship between humans and the earth. It concerned only with natural process and excludes human activities. Only with, no. It connects both. It examines how human beings adapt to modify and organize space. Correct one. 1 and 3. C is the answer. Next one. 83. Which one of the following best explains the scope of human geography? It studies only rock, soil, it studies only climate, it studies spatial organization of human activities and their interaction with environment. This is correct one. Human geography is all about space as well as humanity. It studies only astronomical bodies. No. C is the answer. Next. 84. Population related. Consider the following statements regarding world population distribution. World population distribution across the globe. Population distribution across the world is uneven. True. Wherever resources are there, more population. Wherever resources are less, less population. River valleys and coastal plains often support dense population. True. Whether it is India or other side, outside India, both are same only. Extremely cold, dry or mountainous areas usually have sparse population. Correct one. Answer here is D. All are correct. Next. 85. Which one of the following is the most appropriate explanation for very high population density in some parts of East and South Asia? East Asia and South Asia. Because fertile soil is there, rivers are availability, fertile plains, adequate water and a long history of settled agriculture. Because for so many centuries, 5,000, 6,000 years onwards, the settlements are going on in these areas. That's why this is the answer. 85. B is the answer. Next. 86. Consider the following statements regarding population growth. Population growth depends mainly on births, deaths and migration. True. Depending on birth rate, death rate and migration rate, it depends. Next, if death rate declines while birth rate remains high, population may grow rapidly. True. Birth rate is continuously high, remains high, whereas the death rate declines means population increases. Population growth is completely independent of medical and public health condition. No, they are related with each other. 1 and 2. 86. A is the answer. Next, 87. Consider the following statements regarding population composition. Age structure of population influences dependency burden. True. If elder people are more and dependency rate is more. Literacy and occupational structure have no relation to the population composition. No. Literacy influences the population composition. Sex composition is an important demographic characteristic. 1 and 3 is the answer. 87. C is the answer. Next, 88. Consider the following statements regarding availability of fresh water. Fresh water constitute about 3% of total water on the earth. Correct one. Most of the fresh water is readily available for human use. No, it is not the case. It is not readily available. Most of the fresh water is in snow format in the polar region. It is not readily available. One only. 88. A is the answer. Next, 89. Consider the following statements regarding literacy and occupational structure. A population engaged in primary activities is generally associated with very advanced industrial development. No, they are less advanced. That is what? Primary activities means agriculture, less advanced. Literacy improves the quality of human resources. Definitely, it improves the human quality resource. 2 is the answer. Human resource quality will increase if literacy rate increases. That's why educated sections of the people in educated areas, for example, if you take even in the Indian context also, the states which promoted education, health sector, in those areas developmental indicators are more. Education is more, higher education facilities are more, and human resource quality also more. And as a result, developmental parameters also improved in those areas where literacy rate improved. Next, 90. Consider the following statements regarding human development. Human development is broader than economic growth. Correct one. Economic growth only measures in GDP, but when it comes to development, how this GDP is distributed to the people. Health, education, and standard of living are central to human development. That is also correct one. Human development can be measured only through national income. No, it cannot be measured only through income. That economic growth can be measured but not human development. This is quality in nature, not quantity. 1 and 2. 1 and 2 are correct, 3 is incorrect. Here question is about which is incorrect. C is the answer. Next one. 91. Assertion and reason. Rice is mainly grown in regions of India with high rainfall and high temperature. Correct one. It requires both high rainfall and high temperature. Rice requires a cold and dry climate with rainfall generally less than 100 centimeters. No, it requires very warm, very humid climate and more than 100 centimeters. A is correct and R is false. So 91, C is the answer. Next one, 92. Consider the following statements regarding primary activities. Primary activities involve the processing of raw materials into finished goods. It is not correct one. Primary activities, that is secondary activities. Gathering and hunting are among the earliest human activities. Correct one. Pastoralism associated with rearing animals for livelihood. Correct one. 2 and 3 are correct. 92. B is the answer. Next 93. Which one of the following is best classified as primary activity? Iron smelting, wheat cultivation, banking, software development. Primary activities, which is one? Iron smelting, secondary, wheat cultivation, agriculture, primary, banking, software. B is the answer. Wheat cultivation. 93. B is the answer. Next 94. Consider the following statements regarding types of agriculture. Subsistence agriculture is mainly meant for local consumption. Correct one. Commercial agriculture is usually market oriented. Correct one. Mixed farming combines crop cultivation with livestock rearing. All are correct one. 95. Consider the following statements. Availability of water influences population distribution. Correct one. Transport network development can increase population concentration. Correct one. Climate has no role in population distribution. Definitely not. Where climate is very harsh, their distribution is very sparse. 1 and 2. 95. B is the answer. Next 96. Which one of the following best distinguishes tertiary activities from quaternary activities? Service sector and higher levels. Here answer here is tertiary activities involve only farming. No, tertiary activities are service based while quaternary activities are knowledge and information based. 96. B is the answer. 97. Assertion and reason. Assertion. India's external trade value increased sharply between 50-51 to 24-25. True. Particularly after liberalization, India's external trade value increased. Liberalization and diversification of markets contributed to the growth of India's external trade. Both are correct. R is the explanation. 97. A is the answer. Next, 98. Which one of the following is the most suitable mode for transporting bulky goods across oceans? This is sea routes. Across oceans, sea routes, not airways. Bulky goods means sea route. Next, 99. Consider the following statements regarding international trade. International trade is based on exchange of goods and services among countries. Correct one. Differences in resource endowment and specialization can promote trade. Correct one. The World Trade Organization plays an important role in trade rules and negotiations. Correct one. All are correct. All are correct one. Next, 100th one. Food grain imports were significant during 50s and 60s. True. Before Green Revolution, we had to import more and more food grains. Petroleum imports declined after 1973. No. After 1973, petroleum imports increased. India's requirement increased, growth also increased, petroleum requirement increased, imports increased. Food grain imports declined after Green Revolution. Correct one. Green Revolution, India became self-sufficient, and in fact, India is exporting the food grains, not importing. 1 and 3. B is the answer. So these are various. These are the answers for all the questions, 100 questions. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much.